Uh, hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the 5th edition of the Publess Mega Quiz with me, Ed. Hello. This is what would be the weekly pub quiz that I host at the Marquis of Wellington, which is a pub in Bermondsey opposite the Anspach and Hobday tap room. And this is the best we can do at the moment. So thank you once again for tuning in. Good evening, Dawn. Hello, Sean. Hello, Laura. Hello, everybody on Instagram. For the best viewing experience, I highly recommend tuning into YouTube, which is on that one. You can find the link for the YouTube on my Twitter account, which is... I was eating some peanuts there, sorry. I wasn't eating dinner. On Clibbins_AH is my Twitter, where you can find everything you need. Most of it's on the Anspach and Hobday Twitter, and it's all also on the Anspach and Hobday Facebook if you're one of those people that doesn't have, the Twitter. So, I'll start with the usual thanks from the brewery for continuing to buy ridiculous amounts of beer from our web shop. It's amazing. We are eternally grateful, as I'm sure all of our fellow brewers and artisan makers are, because you're keeping us all in business at the moment. Something's going on. Once a few more people have logged on, I will start wittering about how it's all going to work this evening, and then I'll stop eating peanuts as well. So 2 minutes. Actually, for those of you who are here already, if you head over to the Anspach and Hobday Facebook, or preferably Clibbins_AH on Twitter, you can see the picture round is up, which is to name that cat. They're all cartoon cats, and one cat that isn't a cartoon but is from the telly. And with your pen and paper or whatever you're doing, the door frame is in view. It's too much. There you go. Right, I think we're good. So on my Twitter, Clibbins_AH, you can find the picture round, which is to name the famous cats. Most of them are cartoons. One of them is not. Yes, Mother, it is technically a gilet, or is it a vest? You tell me. And then also, on my Twitter account, you will see the team name theme game for this week, which is taking inspiration from Have I Got News For You, which hopefully you've all seen, and so I shouldn't have to explain this too much. They do the thing called This Week's Guest Publication, and it's something like Flying Buttress Enthusiast Weekly, or, Doggers Quarterly, something like that, and they take ridiculous quotes from it. I would like you all in your teams to come up with your own hilarious made up weekly or quarterly, is it on Insta or Facebook? All the pictures and the team name information is on Twitter, and it's also on Facebook, on the Anspach and Hobday Facebook. Your team name is going to be a ridiculous made up sort of naff, hilarious, sad publication inspired by the This Week's Guest Publication round from Have I Got News For You? So I think we're getting there. Hopefully you've now got a vague idea of what's going on. Of course, as we have done for the last few weeks, since we started, you obviously can't pay any money to enter the quiz, which would normally be £2 per person. So we are asking you to donate that to a cause of your choice. The cause that we are backing is Mind. Don't put your team name on the bloody YouTube comments. Don't put anything in the comments there unless it's asking me a question. Put it on Facebook or Twitter, otherwise I won't see it, all right? Because when we've done the first half of the quiz, and then at the end, when we've done the marking, you will tweet or Facebook your team name and your score so far. Because obviously you're marking your own papers. Don't cheat. Cheating is bad. Especially this week, cheating would be particularly bad because normally the prize for the quiz is the much longed after and desired Anne Sebastian Hob Day mixed 4-pack of cans, which is also what you win for the team name theme game. This week, you will win one for coming up with the funniest team name. You will also win one for a random round I'm going to try and squeeze in at some point. But the winning team this week will win an entire case, that is 24 440 milliliter cans of our new lager, which they're possibly still canning, but it was canned today, which is pretty cool. So yes, the winners of today's quiz, and remember, you must get your team name and score submitted at the time on my Twitter or Facebook, otherwise I won't notice, and you can win a whole case of delicious lager beer. So I think we're kind of, we're getting there. So yeah, you know what's going on. You know the team name theme game this week, which can win you some beer, is inspired by the guest publication round from Have I Got News For You. Come up with a hilarious guest publication in that styling. You got the picture round, which is on Facebook and also on my Twitter, which is the best place to find all the things you need, which is Name That Cat. There's 10 pictures of cats. What are the cats called? Now I'm going to tell you what the rounds are going to be about this evening. So note these down on your piece of paper, your scroll that you're using with your quill perhaps, or tablet or other device. So round number one, following on from the theme of the pictures, is going to be all about cartoons. So round number one is all about cartoons. I had a message via someone earlier going, our kids have been doing the quiz with us, can you do something slightly more child-friendly? Broadly, the answer is no. My language by the end of the quiz is terrible and they should be in bed. But there's going to be some, if you've got kids and you've brought them up watching good quality cartoons, and a few that aren't, they should get some. So that's round number one. Round number two is all about London. Most of you doing the quiz, I'm sure, live in London. Those of you who don't, sorry, that's fine, but you're going to have to deal with it. You may have been. It's quite nice, especially at the moment. Then, half time. So after round number two, you've got pictures, cartoons, London. That's half time. You'll get about 5 minutes to finalise your answers, consult with your teammates and no one else. And then we'll come back. We'll mark the first half of the quiz. And then, once we've done the marking, you will tweet at ClibbensAH, team name, total score. That's it. I will then retweet them all and read them out. We can go, ha ha ha, isn't that a funny team name? Pardon me. You can all jump on Twitter, like the team name you think is funniest, and then by a combination of likes and my opinion, somebody will win the Anne Sebastian Hob Day mixed 4-pack of cans, which will be posted to them. Magic. And then after that, we'll have 5 music introductions, 5 songs, half a point for the artist, half a point for the song. Then after that, the third proper round is a return of the sports round, because I really, 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 really miss watching sport. And round 4 is, of course, as with every quiz I've ever done for the last 5 or so years, music trivia. The last few weeks of music trivia have had a theme of some description. This week, straight down the middle, a nice mix of music trivia questions. So, fix yourselves a quality beverage. Tonight I'm drinking Affinity Breeze for now, and I've got some wine for afterwards. So shout out to Affinity for delivering this week, especially Sterling, who dropped his car keys down a drain as he delivered it. So that was great. So hopefully you're all ready and tuned in, snacked up, drinked up, pens at the ready. And hopefully you've made some good progress with the cartoons. Paul Ansbach has just made it. Cheers. So that confirms that the lager that you're going to win this evening has completely been canned, which is good. Let's do it. So, if you've missed anything, if you're tuning in, put a little comment in there or WhatsApp me if you've got my WhatsApp, and I will endeavour to bring you up to speed. I can repeat things, you know, we're all in it together. It's going to be fun. So, here we go. Question number one, round number one, cartoons. In the classic and, you know, enormously famous, although when you think about it, it's weird that it makes no sense, anything about it really. Pokemon. So Ash Ketchum is obviously the main character in Pokemon. But what were the names of his two friends who did all of the, you know, bizarre ball-based imaginary animal adventures with him? So what were Ash Ketchum's two mates that made his little team in Pokemon? Question number two. For some reason, we've got two questions about Pokemon because it's massively famous. So Ash Ketchum and his two mates from the first question were, you know, the good guys. What are the name of the little group of their main enemies throughout the cartoon series who were constantly, you know, fighting them and trying to steal Pikachu? So what were the names of their main adversaries in the Pokemon cartoon series, and I think indeed the original little Game Boy games? Yeah, so any questions you have, any abuse you would like to send. The reason that my quiz normally is apparently quite good is because it's me sitting next to people and questioning why they've put that answer, swearing at them, you know, classic banter. This is me mindlessly talking into the ether, so please try and engage in some way to keep us all sane. Thank you, Burgess and Hall Wines, the best wine bar in London, hands down, who sound wonderful, so are you. They also do a great quiz if anyone's out in the Forest Gate. Forest Gate? Yeah, Forest Gate. I get my forest confused. Area. Wanstead Way, Burgess and Hall Wines is the place to go. Next, and like I said, I do shout outs, I do birthdays within reason. 3, what's the name of the yellow-haired character with a stutter in South Park? So what's the name of the yellow-haired character with a stutter in South Park? Question number 4. Apparently lots of people don't remember this cartoon. I've got very vivid memories of it on Cartoon Network growing up. It's a bit disturbing in many ways. There's a cartoon about a dog who lived on a farm in Kansas with an elderly Scottish woman and regularly encountered aliens. So there's a cartoon, it was often on Cartoon Network, about a very odd dog that lived with an elderly Scottish woman, and it often encountered aliens, and it was all set in Kansas. What was the name of that cartoon? It's Ollie Harris's mum's birthday this week, but he doesn't think they're doing the quiz, but if it is, Ollie Harris's mum, happy birthday. Is number 5 really a cat, Dawn? Yes. If the cartoon says it's a cat, it's a cat. And also, if it's on the bloody list of pictures, it's a cat. Question number 5. So the cartoon character Arthur, everyone remembers Arthur. What animal is Arthur supposed to be? So Arthur from Arthur is what? What animal is Arthur? Question number 6. What is the name of the Flintstones' daughter? So what is the name of the Flintstones' daughter? Question number 6. Question number 7. Which cartoon character in the cartoon goes by the derogatory nickname Football Head? So which cartoon character in the cartoon is nicknamed Football Head? A repeat for question 6. What's the name of the Flintstones' daughter? So the Flintstones' daughter was called. Then question 7 was Football Head. Question number 8. Which very famous cartoon character from back in the day was based as like a caricature of a 1920s flapper. Flappers were women who dressed, I'm not going to say, but in a certain style of clothes in the sort of era of jazz in the 20s. So which very famous cartoon character was a caricature of a 1920s, as they were known, flapper. Which was sort of friendly young ladies who listened to jazz music. They were the flappers. Which cartoon character, very famous, is based on one of them? Back on Instagram, they're trying to get me on bloody copyright for the music again. So, right. So, where are we? Question number 9. So, cast your mind back mainly to the brilliant cartoon Roadrunner. In Roadrunner, he's being chased by the Wile E. Coyote, and often defeats him by blowing him up with dynamite or other bizarre things. In the Roadrunner cartoons, and also in some other of the Warner Brother cartoons, it pops up. What's the name of the fictional company that makes all of the dynamite and stuff in the Roadrunner cartoons? So whenever the Roadrunner goes and gets a box of something it says the name of the 4-letter name, the 4-letter name of the company on the side of all the boxes. It also pops up in various other Warner Brothers cartoons. If anything is like a random sort of industrial product or something, it's in a box that says the 4-letter name of what company. You get a virtual pat on the back if you know that one. It's just something that's sort of very firmly lodged in my brain since watching those cartoons growing up. Didn't even need the whole question. Boom. Yes, this is the spirit. Also, cast someone back to last week. I think there's someone called Dave. Was it Dave? Who kept writing all the answers on the live chat comments on YouTube. Don't be like the man who's possibly called Dave. Keep your answers to yourself until it's time, all right? Yeah? Good. And finally, question number 10. What is the name of the female squirrel who lives under the sea with SpongeBob SquarePants? So what is the name of the female squirrel who wears a spacesuit in the SpongeBob SquarePants cartoons? And as my friend Ash has just commented, I will report anyone who writes the answers on YouTube for child abuse, just like Dave. Because you can report anything on YouTube, and one of the options, I believe, is child abuse. I'm not doing it. I'm not necessarily advocating that sort of thing, but you've been warned by Ashley Smith, who, if you would like to report him for child abuse, go nuts. Child abuse aside, round number 2, everybody, which is all about London, which is the capital city of England. I'm currently in London now. You've hopefully been and remembered everything about it in order to answer this round of this quiz. And your first one, so the Tower of London, you have hopefully heard of it. Maybe you've been on the tour. In what borough of London is the Tower of London? So the Tower of London, just over Tower Bridge. What borough of London is it in? Question number 2, what is 30 St. Mary Axe more commonly known as? So 30 St. Mary Axe is more commonly known as what? Paul, who just not Anspatch, other Paul, who just commented as Mappy Hour on YouTube. Why have you retracted your message? Go on, mate. Don't be a coward. Say it. Say it, Paul. Disgusting. Oh, he's back. Sponsored by Mappy Hour. In Norfolk, yeah. Oh, you must be struggling a bit at the moment, mate. My mate has made an app which tells you where there are really good happy hours on at bars, which, it's great. You should all sign up in the hope that, you can use it again soon. It's genuinely really good. So I highly recommend downloading, even just as support, the Mappy Hour app. Like I said, we're doing shout outs. We're even taking on the fly sponsorship deals as well now. So question number 3, what is London's largest capacity indoor arena? So what is London's largest capacity indoor arena? Yeah, I'll give you a clue. It's not the XL Centre, which can become, I'm sure if they wanted to put loads of seats in and open the whole thing like they have done for the hospital, it could technically become the biggest. But this is the one with an official set capacity. What is London's largest indoor arena in terms of official capacity? Question number 4. And you start saying as much, don't I? It's annoying. I've just done it again. Habit. Fills time quite nicely there, doesn't it? Question number 4. What would one go and see, if you could, at the Fortune Theatre? So if you went to the Fortune Theatre, you would go and see which play. It has been on there for a very long time. I'm not saying it's the longest by any means, because I can't remember what the longest running one is. But what play would you go and see, if you could, at the Fortune Theatre in London, central London? Oh, question number 5 is a classic. You've very possibly heard this in a quiz before, or on, one of those televised game shows, which I've been watching lots. That's very good. Don't watch the one with Warwick Davis, though. It's shit. Question number 5. Which 2 tube stations? It has tiny... No idea. Which 2 tube stations contain every vowel? So which 2 tube stations on London's underground map contain every vowel? There's only 2 of them. What are they? Half a point for each, of course. Question number 6. Now, you're going to be racking your brains about that one, but you're going to have a bit of time at the end of this round to gather your answers for the pictures, the cartoons, and London. So make a note of 2 stations with every vowel and come back to it, or just set one person aside to just think about it. Question number 6. In October 1974, in October 1974, the UK's first what opened in Woolwich? So in October 1974, the UK's first what opened in Woolwich? I've got a request from Jodie for a repeat of question 4 from round 1. Question 4 from round 1 was, what was the name of the cartoon? It was often on Cartoon Network, about a dog that lived on a farm in Kansas with an elderly Scottish lady and often encountered aliens. It was very, very, very unsettling for a children's cartoon. Each one, no, so there are 2 distinct London Underground stations. Each of them contains every vowel. I would like the answer to both, please. Half a point for each. Tansy, keep up, mate. Don't A me. Right, so question number 7. Which football ground would you find on the banks of the Thames? So which is the only football ground in London that is very much on the bank of the Thames? Which football... I don't want the name of the team. I don't care about the name of the team. I want the name of the ground. Question 3, Joe, was what's London's largest capacity indoor arena? So if you were like, I want to go and watch a gig at the largest capacity indoor arena in London, which one would you go to? Back to that one. 7, which is the only football ground that you would find on the banks of the Thames? I would like the name of the ground, not the name of the team. That will get you nothing, I'm afraid. Yeah, Hugh Stanners, you tell him, keep up. What was 6? Smith, don't you start. This is madness. 6, lots of repeating happening here. 6, again, was the UK's first what? So the UK's first what opened in Woolwich in October 1974. Question number 8. Who designed the tube map? So who designed the map of the London Underground, which I think you could justifiably use the term iconic for, the most overused phrase going, apart from maybe legendary. Yeah, but this is iconic. Who designed the tube map? Question number 9. Which tube line has the most stations on it? So which tube line on the London Underground has the most stations? I was going to ask which is the only line that crosses through, that intersect every other line, which traditionally was the Jubilee line, but apparently you can now do that on the Central line as well. So what I am asking you, the good people of there, is which tube line has the most stations on it? Question number 9. That's it. No, that was question number 9. Well spotted. Question number 10. What is located? What building of note is located at 33 9 Elms Lane? So as your final question in the first half of the quiz, in the Roundabout London, what is located at 33 9 Elms Lane? If you have no idea, and you're thinking, oh, I wonder if it's somewhere I could just, pop in for a look around. Probably not. So you can't just pop in. It's unlikely that they just wouldn't want you there, to be honest. But what would you find at 33 9 Elms Lane? I've accepted I'm going to keep going between everything. Sorry, everybody. Hugh, who's Anne Spatch and Hobday's delivery driver, has said doing A&H's deliveries has finally paid off. Surprised if they let you in, mate. There. Very surprised. Very surprised indeed. Definitely not trusted. So, that is the halfway stage of the quiz. We have done cartoons, we have done London, you have hopefully done most of the picture round, which is Name That Cat. If you have not found the picture round yet, it is on Clibbins_AH on Twitter, Anne Spatch and Hobday on Twitter, Anne Spatch and Hobday on Facebook. You've now got 5-ish minutes, to finish pictures, cartoons, and London. And then, when I return, we will mark the first half of the quiz. You should also have your team name ready, which is the inspired by this week's guest publication section of Have I Got News For You? And when we've done the marking, you will then tweet your team name and your score, and I will read them out and retweet them, and we will pick the funniest one who will win the mixed 4-pack of Anne Spatch and Hobday beer. And of course, don't forget that tonight's overall winners get a whole bloody case of lager beer canned today. So, talk amongst yourselves for a bit. Don't fucking cheat, you bastards. And we'll come back and do some marking. Turn it down a little bit. This is Sunshine in the Sun. Seems just so good. Right then, so okay, let's, if you don't mind, mark the first half of the quiz. So, let us begin, if you're all ready, pens at the ready, marking the picture round. So, name that cat. Number one, let's see if I can get a copy so I can actually see what I'm talking about. So number one is Duchess. So Duchess from the Aristocats. Yeah. Two is Benny. Benny the Bull. Benny the Bull. It's Benny. From Top Cat, obviously. Three is Cat Dog. So three is Cat Dog. It's cat enough to get in the round. Four is Custard. If you've written rhubarb and custard, that is fine. Custard is the cat, rhubarb is the dog. Five is Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy. Six, if you did not get it, How is Garfield, the world's leading lasagna enthusiast. Seven is Scratchy. You may have put Itchy. Shame on you. So Scratchy. Eight is Jess, Postman Pat's black and white cat. 9 is Snagglepuss. So 9 is Snagglepuss, and 10 is Salem. So that is Salem. Okay, let us move on to round number 1. Anything with a multiple answer like the first one, you get half a point for each, or a division of 1, depending on how many answers there are. So, Pokemon. Ash Ketchum's two mates are Brock and Misty. So Brock and Misty, half a point for Brock, half a point for Misty. Question number 2. Stream has gone. Am I back? Can you see me? Someone on YouTube say yes, if you can still see me, or is that from when I left the room? Yes, great. So, number 1 was Brock and Misty. 2, the other Pokemon question, the bad guys are Team Rocket. So Team Rocket is the great. Thank you, people of YouTube. Fucking hell, chill out now, it's all right. You've all done your job. So Team Rocket. 3, the yellow-haired stuttery character from South Park is Butters. Butters. 4, the cartoon dog who lives on the farm with the Scottish lady and always sees the aliens. It's Courage the Cowardly Dog. So Courage the Cowardly Dog, if you've got that, there's your virtual pat on the back that I promised. Good, good, good. Great. So, 5, Arthur is an aardvark. So Arthur is an aardvark. Arthur the aardvark. 6, the Flintstones' daughter is called Pebbles. So, yeah, sorry, got a bit tricky there. So Pebbles is the name of the Flintstones' daughter. 7, Football Head is Hey Arnold is what I'm looking for, Arnold. But Hey Arnold is the cartoon, so Arnold or Hey Arnold for Football Head. 8, the 1920s Flapper, caricature cartoon character, is Betty Boop. So Betty Boop is number 8. Question number 9, the fictional corporation that makes all the explosives and stuff in Roadrunner is Acme, or Acme, A-C-M-E, or A-C-M-E, however you want to say it, it's up to you. I always used to read it as Acme. A-C-M-E, that's it, like acne with an M. And question number 10, Sandy Cheeks is the name of the squirrel from SpongeBob SquarePants. So Sandy Cheeks, funny joke, isn't it? Is the name of the squirrel from SpongeBob. So top your scores up as we go, because once we finish marking this round, you're going to quickly get your total out of 30, and then along with your team name, you will tweet me. Team name and score, that's it. Next, so London. Tower Hamlets is the answer to number 1. So the Tower of London is in Tower Hamlets. Question number 2, St Mary Axe is better known as the Gherkin. So St Mary Axe is better known as the Gherkin. If you're ever in the area, you can go to the Craft Beer Co. in St Mary Axe. Anyone from the Craft Beer Co. St Mary Axe is watching. You're all great, love you. 3, London's largest capacity indoor arena. I ran around it earlier, actually. It's the O2. So the O2 is London's largest capacity indoor arena. Question number 4, if you pop along to the Fortune Theatre, you would be going to see The Woman in Black. So you would be going to see The Woman in Black, which when I went to see that during my GCSE drama, I let out several very high-pitched screams, but I really enjoyed it. But it is unusually scary and much, much better than the Daniel Radcliffe film. Question number 5, the 2 tube stations containing every vowel are Mansion House for half and South Ealing for the other half. So Mansion House for half, South Ealing for the second half. Those are your 2 tube stations containing every vowel. Question number 6. In October 1974 in Woolwich, we saw the opening of the UK's first McDonald's. So the first McDonald's. Can we get answers posted for round 1? Yes. Yes, I can figure that out. Once I've read We'll get there. So McDonald's was question 6. 7, the football ground that you would find on the banks of the Thames is Craven Cottage. So Craven Cottage is the answer. If you put Fulham, I repeatedly said, I don't care what the team is. But, if you know that, good for you. If you know Craven Cottage, I'd hope you know it's where Fulham play. But Craven Cottage is what you need to get the point. Question number 8, who designed the iconic London Underground map was Harry Beck. So Harry Beck, for your point there on question number 8. Question number 9, the tube line with the most stations, I believe it's got 60, is the District line. So the District line is the one that you could pay the most visits on. And finally, question number 10, 33 9 Elms Lane is where you would find the US Embassy these days, since I think it moved in 2018. So 33 9 Elms Lane is where you would find the US Embassy. You get half a point for anything that has two answers. Anything that has just got one answer, there's no halves knocking around. I can't see how close you came. In the real quiz, I could pop round and go, yeah, no, I can see what you meant, or no, you're an idiot. Can't do that. So, Laura C, what I'm going to do is post all of those answers on my Twitter right now. So Laura C, if you need the answers to round number 1, I'm putting both those rounds on my Twitter, Clemens8 right now. So, someone's already got it. Nicky Bates, you've done it before. Quiz regular, legend of the quiz. So, what you need to do now, please, is to top your scores up out of 30, a possible 30, and then tweet at Clemens8 with your team name and your total score, nothing else. If you don't have Twitter, please post it on the Anne Spatchman Holiday Facebook under the most recent post about the quiz. And if you don't have either of those and you've got my number, you can send me a WhatsApp. I cannot guarantee I will pay any attention to it though, because you're probably just being annoying. So get tweeting, get counting, and then in a couple of minutes, I'll say time up. And if you're after that, you're still in the quiz, you just might not get read out. And I'll read out the funniest team names. I'm going to retweet everything you tweet me. So on my Twitter, you can go and like who you think has done the funniest team name. And that person will win some beer. And now, Burgesson Hall wine, yeah, you can have half a point for Sandy, in fairness. So on I'll allow that. On the SpongeBob SquarePants one, you can have Sandy half. Cottage, definitely not. Are you gathering up the tears? Have you had enough of mine? Are you reeling in the years? Stolen away the time. Are you gathering up the tears? Have you had enough of mine? You've been telling me you're a genius since you were 17. And all the time I've known you, I still don't know what you mean. The weekend in the college didn't turn out like you planned. The things that cost the knowledge I can't understand. Are you reeling in the years? Stolen away the time. Are you gathering up the tears? Have you had enough of mine? Are you reeling in the years? Stolen away the time. Are you gathering up the tears? Have you had enough of mine? So keep your team names and your scores coming on Twitter. You've got another minute to be considered for the big readout, which may win you 4 cans of beer for having the funniest team name.
Love lager. That's just so good.
Oh dear.
I think I like it more now than I did when I started this, when I got into the real world.
Right, you've got 15 seconds to get your probably abusive team name about my gilet in. I can take it. I'm glad that I can entertain you with the way I dress, if not the way I host quizzes. So, bloody, you count yourself lucky, all right? Even my mum's been at it. Disgusting. Right then, I'm calling it there for now. If you've got it, keep it coming. And if you forgot, so I'm eating with them. I've got nuts in again. As long as you get your final score in at the end. So, I'm going to start reading out some team names, you know, and you can laugh at them. So what have we got? That can't have been the first one. Hold on. Looking like the secret love child of Michael Ball and a school caretaker overall. And Nick, is it you who said I look like a cross between James O'Brien and a deck chair last week? This is outrageous. I deserve better. Big, oh, for God, he's got a Michael Ball thing. Right, decided I didn't. Some of them didn't retweet. There was bloody loads of them. Right, so here we go. Listen to some of these. Big Ball Lovers, the Michael Ball Appreciation Fanzine, 14.5. Funny, I like it. Hasn't got any likes though. Underrated. Sleeveless Digest Weekly. Fucking, this is getting out of hand now, isn't it? I've only done 2. 10.5. Yeah, well, Oscar Matcham, who I know very well. Serves you right, doesn't it? Nips and Tassels, 21. The Modern Drunkard Magazine, 14.5. Premature Ejaculation Minutely, nice. 26. Chris Parker, he's back. So Chris, ejaculation, 26 points. Currently winning. Merkin Makers Monthly, 17.5. A Room Without a View, Fritzl Fortnightly. I like that, Dave. 20. The Pub Quiz Name Weekly, 14.5. Not your best, Paul Ansbach. The menstrual cycle display team periodical. If you think that's funny, but then we got fucking up. Saturn Arms, Jack. You've got 25 points. Very good. You're in second at the moment. Didgeridoo Digest with Rolf Harris. 6 likes. So that's currently winning the team name theme game. What else we got? With 8 likes and 28 points. Now, you know, I might pick 2 best team names and we'll come back in case one of them wins the quiz as well. Normally I'd let them win both, but it's a bit different at the moment, isn't it? None of you actually paid any money, have you? So 28 points is Lego Sex Toys Monthly, which is very good. That's Amber, who's been doing far too well in the last few quizzes. Emus today and tomorrow for the big bird twitcher who doesn't look backwards. That's good. 20 out of 30. Dehydrated Cavitus. Yeah. All Hail Braille. The Feelings Man magazine. That's pretty good, George. I'm giving that 7. So you're up there as well. Feeling Man. Whores and Sound. What hi-fi for working girls and guys? Johnny and Joe, you naughty people. Cat Flap Monthly. B-Day Today. The Number 2 magazine. That's an underrated team name. That's good. That's got a giggle from Jack over there as well. That's fucking class. So you get 2, so you're on 5. And still not winning though. Gillet's Weekly. It's not as abusive as some of the other ones. Come on, if you're going to abuse me, be horrible. I can take it. People Alone in Lockdown Daily. 7 out of 30. Bad score, bad team name. Sorry, Sean. 6 out of 30. Take a Shit. I quite like it. You know, if you don't get it, you don't read enough trashy magazines. PPE Weekly. Get Yours Before They're All Gone. Bergson Hall. Cutting Satire. Not necessarily as funny as some of the others. Sleeveless Digest Weekly. Spring. You ruined it with the tagline, Caitlin. Nigel's Hunt for Madeline Daily Update, which is someone who I know is doing the quiz with my dad on Zoom, and my dad's called Nigel. So since my dad's Madeline McCann team name the other week, which I'm sure you'll remember, he's now apparently started hunting for Madeline McCann and releasing a fanzine about it. So, Jesus. Mental. So, the winners of the team name theme game by likes. Now, actually, we're gonna. So what's happened is Lego Sex Toys Monthly are currently winning with 10 likes. They're also winning the quiz. Okay, so we're going to hold on to that. And if they don't win the quiz, they win the team name theme game. If they do win the quiz, I would say I'll come back to it, but there's no time for that. So All Hail Braille, the Feelings Man magazine, is snuck up with 7, 11 likes. 11, yes, I know you got, yes, but you can't have a whole case of lager and 4 lagers. Normally you could. This week, Amber, you're not allowed to get booze anymore either, so. Right. There's chaos. You've all done very well this week. I'm very proud. Normally, no one really likes them because they're not that funny. Right, so in second place on likes with 8 is Didgeridoo Digest with Rolf Harris. So if Lego Sex Toys Monthly win the quiz, Didgeridoo Digest with Rolf Harris wins the team name theme game. I think that makes sense. And the thing is, none of you can argue with me because you're not fucking here, are you? So that's the final say. Whew. So, despite that, I think we're still making all right time. We're on time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and have another wee. And when I get back, we're going to do the music intros round. And I'm also going to set you what your drawing theme will be for the second half of the quiz. In this version of the quiz, the drawing doesn't count for anything. It's just funny. So you'll tweet it and Instagram it and share it with all your mates at the end. And it will, ha ha, what a funny drawing. So, if you need to get a snack or a wee or more booze, do it now. I'll be back in 2 minutes and then we'll do the rest of the quiz.
You should ever find out about you. Oh, but love is gone. Whatever she didn't know. When it gets too much, I need to feel your touch. I'm gonna run to you. 'Cause when the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night. I'm gonna run to you. She's got a heart of gold, she can't let me down. You're the one that always turns me on, keep me coming around. I know love is true, but it's so damn easy making love to you. I got my mind made up.
It's a really shit song, that, isn't it? Anyway. So, we're back. Second half of the quiz, welcome. So congratulations so far to Lego Sex Toys Monthly, who are winning with 28 out of 30, which is very good. Very, very good indeed. Right, so people are texting me all sorts of, mainly abuse about the Gillo. So, in the second half of the quiz, you need to draw something and then just get it up on the Twitter and the Facebook and stuff at the end. It's a bit of fun. Normally it wins you some points, and in this quiz it doesn't. I would like you to draw your horrible bastardization of a very famous painting. So take a famous painting and draw an absurd, bastardized reworking of it. You got it? Great. Easy. You got the rest of the quiz to do it. Get someone sitting in the corner who's good at drawing, or somebody who's bad at drawing, that's often better, and just draw a hilarious, bastardized version of a famous piece of art. The best drawing round submission I've ever had in 5 years of doing quizzes was on this theme. And if I can find it, I will post it on Twitter later. It is genius. So that's your theme. Next up, we're going to do the music intros round, which is the bit of the quiz that gets the quiz taken down after for copyright reasons. So I'm going to play you 5 songs. I'm going to play the introduction to each song. I will play each introduction twice and for about 10 seconds. And you get half a point for naming the artist and half a point for naming the song. If you're lucky, I'll do them again later. I probably won't. So, there's a whole range of stuff as ever. Here you go. So there's song number one. Half for the artist, half for the song. And we'll do it once more, just in case you need it. Song number two for something completely different. Here you go. So again, half of the artist, half of the song. And again. And again. Hopefully you've all got that classic first decade of the 2000s song. It was on the radio and stuff at the time, wasn't it? Remember? Yeah. This was not from that decade. It's from another one. No. That's what you're getting with that, but you can have it again. There you go, that was number three. That was number three. Number four is going to be this. Again, something very, very different to that one.
2, 3, 4. Ooh. Ooh.
You're only getting 10 seconds of that one. And again.
2, 3, 4. Ooh. Ooh.
So that's your fourth song out of only 5 in this round. And of course, you get half a point for the artist. You get half a point for the song. And once again, this time, for something completely different. Shouldn't have heard any singing there, but you did. So again, this time without that additional 1 second. There you go. There you have it. So, half point for the artist, half point for the song. No featured artists, no nothing like that. Straight down the middle. 1 point for each. Nice and easy. Or not, depending on the quality and variety of your musical taste. So, get the background music back. Anyway, let's carry on with the rest of the quiz, and we recommence with the sports round. Right, so where are we? So we've got 2 more rounds. We've got sports and we've got the music trivia round. At the end of the quiz, when you're getting your answers together, we're going to try something a bit different. We wanted to figure out another way to give away a little bit of beer. So at the end of the quiz, I'll be telling you a thing that you need to find on the internet, and the first person to send a screenshot of that thing to my Twitter. Sorry if you don't have Twitter in this instance, you can't do it. We'll get a bit. But we'll get to that at the end. But prepare yourselves to have to do some interneting to find an answer to a thing. So, round number 4, if you exclude the music round, this is round number 4, is sport. And your first question about sport is, what sport does Zara Phillips do? So, Zara Phillips does what sport? So Zara Phillips, off of the royal family and that, what sport does she do? Question number 2. I would like you to answer the name of a sports brand, so a brand of sporting equipment that the name begins with a Y and ends with an X. So it's a name of a sporting equipment and clothing manufacturer, the name of which begins with a Y and ends with an X. What is the name of that brand? Question number 3. What sport does Megan Rapinoe play? So Megan Rapinoe, pretty sure that's how you pronounce the surname. R-A-P, sorry, I-N-O-E, Rapinoe, like I said. Megan Rapinoe, what sport does she play? Question number 4 on sport. How many French Open titles has Rafael Nadal won? So how many French Open titles has Rafael Nadal won? No one else has won that many of a single Grand Slam. How many has he won, though, of the French Open? The good thing about the sports round in quizzes is that it is often, it's the great equalizer, because there are a good amount of people who often win quizzes that I do who know absolutely bugger all about sport. And I very rarely do it, because of the quizzes I do, the majority of people don't really want it, even though it's, one of the greatest and most noble of the quiz rounds. So hopefully this, for some of you, you could get back into it. Then again, you might not. Question number 5, which cricket ground is in Nottingham? So which cricket ground where England play matches, and of course where Nottinghamshire play, is in Nottingham? So what's the name of the cricket ground in Nottingham? Joe Tansey did a sport once. Joe, I'm very proud of you. What sport was it? I'm guessing it was a pub sport. Bar billiards, perhaps? That's sport, right? We got so bored earlier that we watched the replay of the 2019 final of the European Cricket League, which is, what was it, between St. Petersburg and
St. Petersburg
and someone else,
and a team from Germany.
And a team from Germany played in Malaga. It was on Live Sports, which is the channel on Freeview, apparently.
There was 18 people watching it.
Yeah, about that. Bad times.
Set off watching your lunch.
Question number 6. Who holds the record for having won the most men's golf majors? So who has won the most men's golf major tournaments? Which player holds that record? Question number 7. Which sport do the Miami Heat play? So the Miami Heat compete professionally at which sport? Right then, so question number, where are we? Question number 8. Who holds, and this is anyone who gets this gets another virtual pat on the back, because it's a bloody good question. Who holds the record for the men's 400 meters? So who holds the world record for the men's 400 meters? And like I said, if you get that, not only do you get a point, but one virtual pat on the back. Question number 9. Jade Jones. So Jade Jones won Olympic gold for Great Britain at the 2012 and 2016 Olympics. In which event? So Jade Jones won Olympic gold for Great Britain in the 2012 and 2016 Olympics. In which, let's call it in which sport? It's not track and field. If you have no idea, it's not a track and field event, but it is an event that she won gold at in 2012 and 2016. Which was it? And question number 10. It's another bloody good one. Who is the only British female athlete to have won Olympic world champion? Sorry, let's start this again. Who is the only British female athlete to have won an Olympic title, a world championship title, a European championship title, and a Commonwealth Games title? So who is the only British female athlete to have won an Olympic title, a world title, a European championship title, and a Commonwealth Games title? So that was that round about sports. We're now on to the final round of the quiz, which is all about music, obviously. It's the music trivia round. There is no particular theme this week. It's just some questions about music, which is the best thing to answer questions containing. So your first question on music is, what does MOBO stand for? So the MOBO Awards, MOBO. What does MOBO stand for? That is your first question about music. Question number 2 on music. What was the name of Amy Winehouse's debut album? So what was the name of Amy Winehouse's debut album? Question number 3. Please name first names and surnames, where appropriate, all of the members of Girls Aloud. So question number 3 is to name all of the members of Girls Aloud. And you get, because I'm going to tell you, there are 5 of them if you didn't know that. You get a 1/5 of a point for each one. So you get a 1/5 of a point for each one. If you don't get the surname, in this instance, you get nothing. Now, as a person who's, probably been aware of British popular culture for the last decade or so, you should know the surnames. And we're not doing it in tenths of points. Full name or nothing, apart from the one who's difficult, and no one knows what she calls herself anymore. Next up, question number 4. Who has just in the last few weeks, lost track of time a bit, who has very recently, released an album called Future Nostalgia? This should make my mate Ash happy. He doesn't really get many right. He likes the pop music, and that's one of the pop musics. So who's just released an album called Future Nostalgia? And in fairness, the couple of songs I have heard of it are bangers. So question number 5. Who composed the music, The Ride of the Valkyries? Or the main thing is it's called The Valkyrie, but in the language of his origin, which I'm not going to tell you. So who composed the very famous piece of classical music, Ride of the Valkyries? Who composed it? Question number 6 in the music trivia round, the final round of this evening. Eddie Vedder. So Eddie Vedder is the lead singer of which band? So Eddie Vedder is the lead singer of which band? Question number 7. I would like to fill in the missing backing band name. Like Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, etc., etc. This one is question number 7. Curtis Mayfield and. So Curtis Mayfield and the rest of his band were called what? Right, so question number 8 is, who is the only artist to have sold over 250 million records in the 21st century? So who is the only artist to have sold over 250 million records, having only released music in the 21st century? So you've got the top, you've got the Beatles, you've got the Elvis, you've got Madonna in there. You can imagine the rest of the people that are in there. But who is the only artist in the select group to have sold 250 million records? That includes albums, singles, any certified sale of music. These days it includes streams. But who is the only artist to have sold 250 million records or more in the 21st century? Just waving at some people on Instagram. Hello. Hello. Question number 9. Similarly to the Girls Loud question earlier, I would like to please name the 4 original members of Destiny's Child. Oh, but there were only 3 of them. Yeah. Who were the 4 original members of Destiny's Child, please? You can have 1/4 of a point for each answer. I'll be more generous with the surnames here than I was with Girls Aloud. So that's question number 9. The 4 original founding members, I think they got signed in 1997, of Destiny's Child. And finally, final question in the quiz, question number 10. Who released the 2019 album, which was my favourite album of last year? Actually, no, second in the end, So who released the 2019 album, nominated for the Mercury Prize, Grey Area? So who released the 2019 album, Grey Area, that was also nominated for the Mercury Music Prize and was my second favourite album of the year? So there's the quiz. That's it. You've now got, what's the time? 20:59. So I'd say you've got 5 minutes to finalise your answers to the music intros, which you're not getting again. Destiny Child surnames, I'm being generous with that. I wouldn't worry too much. If you do know them, that's insane for a couple of them. Otherwise, first names will do for that. Yeah, so you've got 5 minutes to get your answers to the music intros, sport, and the music trivia. And then, so if you're still listening, in the week, we were trying to figure out a way to get something a bit more interactive into the quiz as another way to give somebody a 4-pack of beer. And we were trying to think of something interactive. We thought about the game on Wikipedia where, you start on Joseph Fritzl's page and have to work your way through links only on Wikipedia to, the Nazis or something. But one person out there will cheat. So we thought we'd mix it up a bit. Well, I don't think we're not mixing it up at all. The only thing I could think of that would be, I could tell you to find on the internet that wouldn't just involve a cursory Google off the top of my head was something that shamelessly involves me. So, whoever the first, so I'm going to tell you something now. I'm only going to say it once. If you're not listening, you've lost it. The first person to send me a screenshot of the thing I'm asking about will, and that screenshot is on Twitter only Twitter. If you don't have Twitter, sorry, but you will, and I believe this, get over it. In the year, I can't even remember the year, but once upon a time, I used to write music reviews for magazines and stuff, and I once reviewed a live concert of the band Deftones. So I once reviewed the band Deftones, and the review of that for a magazine is on the internet. The first person to find the page that I'm looking at now of that review wins a case of 4 lagers. So the first person to find my review on the internet of Deftones the band and screenshot the review and tweet it at me wins 4 lagers. Go, and then in 3 minutes we'll mark the quid. Right, we've got a winner already. Bloody Nick, the man who's been describing me as the mix between James Brian and the deck chair, and today Michael Ball and the caretaker. Nick, you win 4 cans of lager. The rest of you can stop. It was a glowing review. It was an amazing gig, I must say. Those are the days when I did not get paid for anything but got to go and see free music. So it was a balance. And apparently I wrote the sentence somewhere between musical ecstasy and being punched in the face. Why did I not stick to unpaid journalism? Anyway, so you've now got 1 minute to finalise your answers to the music intros. Can you get number 5? Hugh, I said don't worry about the surname for the Girls Aloud one who you shouldn't worry about, all right? You know what, you're all right. Kieran Spears, cricket is a sport. You know, come on. It is a sport. It's just the best. You got cricket, football and tennis as your 3, you know, the big 3. And then all of the other ones as well are pretty good as well. In fact, they're all really good, apart from... No, that's about it. Interestingly in sport, this week, the greatest football team in the world, Crystal Palace, have somehow managed to lay a claim to being actually the oldest professional football team in the world, and it's not Notts County. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's quite a good article about it. If you like football, Google Crystal Palace oldest football team in the world, and it is genuinely interesting whether or not you agree that Crystal Palace are the best football team in the world or not. So, right, you've got 1 more minute. Destiny's Child's surname, stop worrying about it, everybody. It's fine. Just put down what you know. 1 minute, and then we'll be back to Mark. Right then, so 30 seconds left, and then we're going to start the marking. Obviously, we're going to start with the songs. and then we're going to crack on. I'm going to do one more shout out because I know that she really won't want me to do it. But it is my mum's 60th birthday at the weekend. So if you could all please enthusiastically wish my mum a happy birthday, because she is the best, and there's no doubt about it. So from everyone in Quizland, happy birthday to my mum. That's about it. So let's mark the bloody quiz, shall we? Okay, so we'll do the songs first. Remember, of course, you get 1/2 of a point for the name of the song and 1/2 of a point for the name of the artist in question. First up was this metal classic.
Tonight, looking for you to start up a fight. There's an evil feeling in our brains, but running
Got there in the end. That's Seek and Destroy by Metallica. Oh, Mum, you got a glass of champagne on the house at Burgesson Hall when they open again. Wicked. There you go. So that's Seek and Destroy by Metallica for 1 point. Number 2.
I'm feeling wings, though I've never flown to the bottom. Yeah, right to be wrong.
That's Right to Be Wrong by Joss Stone. Right to Be Wrong, Joss Stone, 1 point. Number 3.
I took her home to my place. I said, all right now.
No, that's All Right Now by Free. So that is All Right Now by Free. Number 4.
I fell in feet, marinade. I said no. I said no.
You get the idea. That's Black Horse in the Cherry Tree by KT Tunstall. I vividly remember paying money to download that off iTunes, and I have no shame. Johnny, don't have a go at Joss Stone, Johnny. That's not. I'm getting text abuse about Joss Stone and KT Tunstall. I'm here to please all musical tastes, and that Joss Stone album's wicked. You know, come on. Anyway, and finally. That is, of course, So Fresh and So Clean by Outkast. So there you go. Let us do the 4th round. So sports, here we go. Number 1, Zara Phillips is equestrian. So Zara Phillips is equestrian if you put show jumping, you know, just if you put one of the equestrian sports, you can have it. Equestrian is what we're looking for. I trust you to mark you correctly, yeah? 2, the sports brand beginning with Y and ending in X is Yonex. They mainly make tennis and dressage. I would accept dressage. That's, yeah, one of the equestrian sports. Show jumping, dressage, equestrian. Do it yourself now. So yeah, Yonex is the sports brand I was looking for. They mainly make tennis and squash and that sort of stuff. 3, Megan Rapinoe plays football, or as they call it, soccer, for America and another soccer team of some description. So that's football is the answer to that. 4, Rafael Nadal has won a record 12 French Open titles. So Rafael Nadal has won 12. which is ridiculous. French Open titles. 5, the cricket ground in Nottingham is Trent Bridge. So Trent Bridge is the cricket ground in Nottingham. 6, the most golf majors have been won by Jack Nicklaus. So Jack Nicklaus has won the most golf majors. 7, the Miami Heat play basketball. So Miami Heat play basketball. 8, the 400-meter men's world record, which, you know, Usain Bolt broke the 200 Michael Johnson's record, and everyone thought maybe one day someone would do that. No one ever thought that Michael Johnson's 400-meter world record would be broken, but it was broken by a skinny South African man called Wade van Niekerk. So Wade van Niekerk is the men's 400-meter world record holder. I highly recommend looking that world record race up on YouTube. It's amazing. 9, Jade Jones is an Olympic gold medalist at Taekwondo. So Jade Jones is an Olympic gold medalist at Taekwondo. And number 10, the only British female athlete to have won the Olympics, the World Championships, the European Championships, and the Commonwealth Games is the legend that is Sally Gunnell. So Sally Gunnell is your answer to number 10. Round number 4, music. So Mobo is, of course, music of black origin. So Mobo is music of black origin. 2, Amy Winehouse's first debut album. Her debut album was called Frank. So Frank is the Amy Winehouse question. 3, all of the members of Girls Aloud. So you don't need the surname, or if you did get it, it's fine. Cheryl. Cheryl is now officially just called Cheryl, apparently. No, judo is not taekwondo, I'm afraid. Sorry. If you said that to a taekwondist, they'd be offended, and I'm sticking up for them. Right, so the members of Girls Aloud, you can have Cheryl, you can have Cheryl Cole, you can have Tweedy, whatever, any of her previous surnames. And then, and bear in mind, full names only. So you've got Cheryl, then you've got Nadine Coyle. So Nadine Coyle, Sarah Harding, pardon me, Nicola Roberts, so that's Nicola Roberts, and finally, Kimberly Walsh. Kimberly Walsh is your final member of Girls Aloud. So 1/5 of a point for each full name. 4, Future Nostalgia is an album recently released by Dua Lipa. So number 4 is Dua Lipa. 5, The Ride of the Valkyries was composed by Wagner, or Richard Wagner. I would accept Wagner, or as you may say, Wagner. That is fine. 6, Eddie Vedder is Pearl Jam. So Eddie Vedder is Pearl Jam. 7, Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions. So number 7 is the Impressions. 8, the only artists to have sold over 250 million records in the 21st century, and a long way ahead of anyone else, is Rihanna. So Rihanna is by a long way the biggest selling artist of the 21st century across all sellable music formats. 9, your 4 original members of Destiny's Child are Beyonce. You can just have Beyonce. 2, Kelly Rowland, of course. And then with these 2, don't worry about the surnames, just the first names, are Latavia Robertson, so Latavia, and LaToya Luckett. So the original 4 members of Destiny's Child were Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Latavia, and LaToya. Well, they had rid of them and brought in the best member of Destiny's Child, Michelle Williams. And finally, question number 10, the amazing 2019 album Grey Area was released by the wonderfully amazing Little Sims. So Little Sims is your answer to number 10. And that's it. So top your scores up for the second half. Add it, please, to your first half score, and then tweet or Facebook me your team name and your total score out of a possible 55. So your total score out of a possible 55, tweet that to me when you're ready. I will somehow figure out who's got the biggest score. They will be the winners of the whole case of lager. Chris, I think, who got the Deftones thing, send me an email or a message. Yeah, there you go. Figure your scores out, tweet them over. Oh, and also your drawings of the bastardization of the famous painting. Get those up on Instagram, whatever. Get them out there. People would like to see your drawings. We've got some good ones in so far. Keep them coming. And if I can find the really, really good one, which was a Banksy that I got in a quiz once, which won by miles, I'll try and find it and get it up.
Just me alone. All right.
The drawings are spectacularly bad, I must say. I'm impressed. They are terrible. So got some scores coming in. We've got Whores and Sound 41. Not enough. You're right. It's not enough. Sleeveless Digest Weekly 22. And Jack Hobdays piped in with a score. Happy Birthday Ed's Mum Yearly, which is quite a good one. 27.5. Not their best innings. You're right. Premature Ejaculation Minutely 44.5 points. Great score. Not winning. Obnoxious Cravats and Vests Monthly 40.25. Another good score. Not going to win though. I'm pretty sure who's going to win. It's a good drawing of the screen with the penis as well. I like it. Now, Jack for the Sutton Arms, you've got on the right lines for the funniest ever drawing. I need to find it. I don't know where it is. Right, so before I read out the scores, as I mentioned earlier and have it every week, normally it's £2 each to enter the quiz. We are promoting charity Mine. Simon, who's the manager at the Marquis of Wellington, where the quiz normally is, and Alex, who used to work there. We're going to be cycling to France to raise money for Mind. Obviously, they can't do that. They're currently 35% of the way to their total of £3,600. They got £1,292. So I'm going to post the link to the Mind thing at the end of the quiz. And if you would like to donate a few quid, everyone is a winner. You feel good, they feel good, the charity feels good. Then that's the main. There you go. So, any more scores? Any more? Burgess and Hall, your drawing's very funny. I'm very, very proud of you. Any more scores? Any more scores? PP Weekly 32.66. Unless anyone has got any objections, the winning team with 48 points is Lego Sex Toys Monthly. That's a ridiculously good score. So big round of applause for them. If you do think you've got more points, you've got like 1 minute to make your case without being a lying bastard. But that means that Didgeridoo Digest with Rolf Harris are the winners of the team name theme game. So they are entitled to 4 cans of lager. So please get in touch accordingly. And they're also Didgeridoo Digest winning the team name, the picture. Not that there's anything for it, but they got 9 likes on their bastardization of Banksy, which is very, 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 very good. It's very good. It's arguably as good as the one I'm trying to find, which I can't find. So I think that's it. I think we've done it. I think I haven't forgotten anything. So thank you all for coming to the quiz. See you next week. Please tell your friends and colleagues and people to come and join in. I've watched some other quizzes that have been going on. Maybe not as fun. So yeah, get more people involved. Keep buying beer from your local brewery and independent supplier, especially at Fashion Holiday. Thanks for doing it, and thanks to me for doing the quiz mainly. See the charity links and hopefully the funny Banksy picture on my Twitter shortly. Bye everybody. Nice one.